Why did you click on this video? Why does the algorithm know you so well? Well, let me tell you. See, 1 billion people use Instagram, and it's the only social media that isn't about influencers. Everyone has an Instagram, and it's mainly about connecting with your friends. And as I found out in this video, the influencers that are on the app only post on average every 10.5 days. There aren't Instagram stars like there are TikTok and YouTube stars. It's why Instagram will probably be the first to die out of all of the social medias right now. But that's beside the point. The major accounts on Instagram, unlike everywhere else, are split up into 2 categories: the influencers and the companies. The influencers all come from a different platform. Almost none of them blew up on Instagram. They likely started with TikTok and then moved over to expand their brand. But then there's the companies. These are the people who built their whole careers on Instagram, but these aren't people. These are accounts like Barstool Sports and Funny Hood Vids that post mostly stolen content at an incredible rate, unmatched by what any one person could ever post. That's why people aren't blowing up on Instagram anymore. There's no viral Instagrammers. The algorithm promotes quantity over quality, and it's only these stolen outlets that can produce that sort of quality. But that's not the only reason. Instagram is the 5th biggest social media in the world. But there's still an issue of supply and demand. Behind me is Lake Michigan, the 5th biggest lake in the world. If I take a 1-gallon bucket and fill it up with water from the lake, well, all the little sea creatures and animals I'd pick up would be sad. But it wouldn't matter, because that 1 bucket representing one user's content consumption on Instagram would barely make a dent out of the behemoth that is Lake Michigan. In fact, I could take 450 billion 1-gallon buckets out of the lake and there would still be water left over. The point is, Instagram has gotten so big that posting creative videos just isn't gonna cut it anymore. There's more than enough content to go around. Meanwhile, TikTok, although smaller, is much more relied on. The average TikTok user spends 52 minutes a day on the app, while the average Instagram user spends just 30. And to make matters worse, even with their abundance of stars, TikTok is no match for the amount of content on Instagram, a platform that's been around twice as long and has way more formats for content creation. So TikTok users demand more content from their lake, despite having less to choose from, while Instagram users demand less content and already had a bigger lake to begin with. YouTube's the same way, the lake superior of social media apps. It's, well, superior. 500 hours of content are uploaded to YouTube every minute, hence why I could walk a marathon inside of Walmart and still get less views than someone on TikTok nodding their head. YouTube and Instagram have way more supply and way less demand, while TikTok has way more demand and way less supply. It's why TikTok is eager for new stars and new influencers, and it's why becoming an Instagram influencer is just so much harder, as they don't need you. It isn't necessary anymore for Instagram's bottom line. But I wanted to test that. So I started by logging out of my Instagram account because I didn't want Instagram to know anything about me. I created a new Instagram account that would be a fresh slate, an empty canvas where Instagram wouldn't know any of my preferences and all of the content would have to be, from the algorithm's perspective, the best content on the app. It would be the most universally liked. This was the perfect way to test the algorithm, to find what kind of content it liked best, if any, and boy, I did. I found that, just as I thought, there were very few influencers shown to me. Unlike on TikTok, where the common genres were comedy, dancing, and story times with a person-to-person connection, Instagram was all dull, one-off viral posts that would make you go, cool, and move on. The perfect example of this was animal pictures, something that anyone can see and quickly tap that like button, but that we saw nothing of on TikTok. And you can try this for yourself. Log out of Instagram and go onto the Explore page, and you'll be bombarded with random pictures of nature, architecture, and cute animal videos, but no emotional connection or original content like the relatable TikToks we saw over there. In fact, only 4.5% of all of the posts shown to me had people present at all. So at this point, I felt a little down. It seemed like in order to get famous on Instagram, I had to be the Watch Mojo of Instagram, uploading tens of videos a day for weeks on end before I would see any sort of traction. Then I realized something. There's one part of Instagram that's fairly new that does have a major demand but no supply. In fact, it's literally a TikTok clone. Instagram Reels. Reels now has its own tab on the bottom of Instagram, and they show up consistently on the homepage and Explore tab too. This is Instagram's foray into the TikTok space, but nobody's using it. They're even so desperate they're reportedly suppressing videos that use a TikTok watermark in them just to make sure they have their own image. Even though Instagram is Lake Michigan, Reels is just the beach. Maybe I can make a dent in that world. And so I ran the tests again, finding all of the same data for Reels, and here's what I found. For the Reels data, I wanted to mimic what a typical teenager would see, someone who could be in my target audience. So I followed a bunch of random TikTokers and liked one photo from each account to show Instagram my interest. And I watched as my Explored page became flooded with TikToks, Reels, from famous influencers. And I found that there were some clear trends for successful videos. The average amount of likes on a video with hashtags was 174,086, while the average amount of likes for a video without a hashtag was 896,592. The average amount of hashtags used was 5.7, and only 51.5% of videos had a hashtag. Listen, I know it's hard to believe, but I'm just reporting the facts. I'm the messenger, not the algorithm. But the truth is, hashtags don't work on TikTok or on Instagram. But are you really that surprised? I know we all put hashtags on our posts, but come on, nobody looks through hashtags anymore looking for things. And the algorithm is smart enough to group trends or similar videos together without relying on hashtags. So at this point, really only the desperate accounts in need of more likes are using hashtags, while the accounts that are confident in their video's ability to perform on its own are not. Also, California is the state of blue check marks, but they only made up 9.1% of the data, while 90.9% of videos were unverified, which is good news for me. But what I really wanted to see was if stolen content with no emotional connection was still what did well, or if on Reels, unlike in posts, real original ideas could thrive. And ultimately, I found some mixed results. Even though I had purposely catered my account to show me influencers, including famous TikTokers, and interacting with their posts, 38.1% of what I saw was still stolen random content, meaning the kind of stuff you see on Barstool Sports or Funny Hood Vids, the same one-dimensional content that gets likes, but not connections. But there was still some promise. Original comedy, dancing, and random videos actually had some prevalence on Reels, and I'm convinced that if more people just used the feature, that number would be high, as Instagram doesn't want to have to promote this kind of content. They want original Instagram influencers. It's why they're banning the TikTok watermark, because they want Reels to be something different, but not that different from TikTok, which, much like Reels, favors videos that use a famous sound in them, averaging 734,162 likes, while videos without a famous sound average 208,869. Good to know. But why? Why is this good to know? Why am I so interested in Instagram? Well, you know me. When I make a video like this, there's usually a part 2, and that part 2 is coming. On TikTok, I was able to grow an account from 0 to 100,000 followers in 1 week by exploiting the algorithm. And now that we know all of this about Instagram, maybe I could do it again? Let's review. We gotta post Reels, use famous sounds, forget about hashtags, and post a lot, and, well, of course, make good content. And maybe, just maybe, we can make a dent in Lake Michigan. But let's not forget just how important that important part is. Making good content is obviously key. You can follow all the algorithm hacks in the world, but if you can't create a good video, you're going nowhere. But that's where Skillshare comes in, the sponsor of today's video. People today can't sit through anything, and if you're trying to make it in today's brutal social media algorithms, you gotta know how to make your videos as good as they can be. That's why I'm a big fan of Marques Brownlee's Skillshare class on creating videos for YouTube. He uses a lot of the same tips and tricks I use, but I also learned some new ones that I'm excited to use in future videos. Now, if this was the only class on Skillshare, I'd still say that's a pretty good deal, but no. No. There's actually hundreds of classes on everything from visual art to building a business. Like, did you know that this shot is actually a green screen? Probably not, but it's because I use After Effects, a super complicated and tricky software for something that you can also learn on Skillshare. And if you're in the first 1,000 people to click the link in my description, you can get a free trial. And if not, it's just $10 a month for a yearly subscription. Sounds pretty good, right? Well, while you're all using Skillshare, I'm gonna be busy because I've got a lot of Instagram Reels to make and an account to grow. Wish me luck, and feel free to follow me on there if you're not already to track my progress. I'll probably start around the time I publish this video. Let's dive in. And as always, see you next time. This is so funny. I can't believe I'm actually vlogging. Look at me. Should I start a vlog channel? Comment down below. Let's go.